Ayikembukeli siziqwela siziqongqotha ngolohlobo ezale yure besiniphathele zona. Sibambe ngazibini kuwe mbukeli singalibali kaloku ababukeli bethu pha ku-SABC lihaye ngokusinikeza inkxaso engagunqiyo. Sesichwechwela ke ungena kwiyure yethu yesibini.
Mbukele isiphinde sikwamukela ekhaya Jikelele sibonkhulu ngumthusa hlanganyele kanye nathi njengoba seshilo ke ukholosa ukuthi sesingene ehoreni lethu lesibili njengamanje. Indaba nje ke ihamba phambili bese iphethe sikubuyele zona mbukeli lezo ke zokwedlula emhlabeni kaZahara. Kanjalo ke nokubekwe eceleni kwesinqumo isinqumo ke senkantolo esikhiphe ukuthi ukugcotshwa kuka Misuzulu indlulamithi uMisuzulu kaMzwelithini kwakungekho ke kwabekwe eceleni kuthiwa ke umengameli kusafuneka ukuthi ke enze uphenyo abe nethimba elizokwenza uphenyo ngokuthi uhlelo lokuthi kwenziwe lokho akhanjiswanga kahle so lokhu nje siqhubeka ke mbukeli nokwazisa ngosekwenzeka
awusafuna umzi wakho abantwana bakho bebekhala ubusuku bonke beniroko
iliflathele eli limagada ahlabayo imvumi ephuma izandla uZahara kwisibhedlele salapha eRhawutini phezolo.
Lutshani nginguleno wasigusheshe lomkhathi ikwekwez FM emthonjeni 9 to 12 siyakwamukela elitsha likamabonakude lendaba ezinabileko ekhaya Jikelele sikhamba nawe nayomsebenzini uthinge esikolweni konke okuhloka kuyokuthola zamba nje siphuma phambili indaba siqahe ngezemidlalo ubujamo bezulu ukuthi nawuphuma ekhaya wazi ukuthi umbathe njani konke okuhloka ngelimi oluzwisisako la ku SABC News.
Inkantolo ephakeme yasePitoli isinqumo ukuthi isasingekho emthethweni isinqumo sikamengameli wezwe Cyril Ramaphosa sokugcoba ingonyama uMisuzulu kaZwelithini njengesilo sesizwe samaZulu. Umntwana uSimakade kaZwelithini wayefaka isicelo enkantolo ephakeme yasePitoli ephikisana nesinqumo sikamengameli wezwe sokuhlonza uMisuzulu kaZwelithini njengengonyama yesizwe samaZulu. Abameli bakhe batshela inkantolo ukuthi isinqumo sakhe sasingacabangisiswanga. Umengameli wasiphikisa isicelo ethi kwalandelwa yonke imigomo kanye nemidanti yasendlunkulu elawulwa ukuqokwa kwesilo kanye nokuthi kwakungekho kungenza uguqulo isinqumo sikamengameli. Ingonyama yesizwe samaZulu yahlonzwa uhulumeni kulesi sikhundla ngoNdasa ngo-2022.
Umphathiswa wesebe lezobugcisa nenkcubeko uZizi kodwa vakalise amazwi ovelwane ngokusweleka kwentshatsheli yomculo ubulelwa Mdukutana nozinzele igama lakhe njengoZahara. uZahara unabeluqaqaqa ngobusuku bangomvulo eneminyaka engama-36 kwisibhedlele saseRhawutini. Le mvumi yazuza indumasi yazidalela uthando kwiintliziyo zabantu beli kethuba ikhupha ingoma esihloko sithi Loliwe. Kukholeleka ukuba ungeniswe esibhedlele kwiiveki ezimbini ezidlulileyo ngenxa yengxaki yesibindi sakhe. uZahara ukhuphe amacwecwe amnandi ukusuka kwelokuqala elithi Loliwe elakhutshwa ngonyaka ka-2011 ukuya kwelesihlanu elithi Inqaba Yam ngonyaka ka-2021. Wongiwa ke ngembasa zomculo zoMzantsi Afrika ezili-17 iimbasa ezintathu zeMetro FM kunye neNigerian Entertainment Awards enye. Usapho ke alukabhengezi isuku lwenkonzo yesikhumbuzo kunye nomhla womngcwabo.
abantwana bakho bebekhala ubusuku bonke beniroko baby come and beat it Nelson Mandela Dada Madiba Father of the nation Nelson Mandela Dada Madiba Father of the nation
Abaholi be-IFP kulindeleke ukuthi bahlanganyele lapha empangeni lapho bezobe benengqungquthela yenqubo mgomo.
Zilinganiselwa ngaphezulu kwamakhulu 5 ithunywa zamalungu e-IFP ezizokuba ingxenye yomhlangano wenqubomgomo yeqembu ozoqala kusasa eMbizo Conference Center eMpangeni.
Sesifike esigabeni ke la sinenkolelo yokuthi iqembu uzinzo selifinyelele khona ngendlela efanele nokuthi inhlaka zeqembu zikhona ngendlela efanele. Kwakuwumsebenzi lo esasibekele ukuthi uqale ngonyaka ka2020 kodwa ke ngesizathu sokuthi ke kwaba khona ubhubhane lweCovid inhlelo zethu zaphazamiseka. Amakomiti ke kuyiwona aqondene nodaba lobuya kwezwa kwemigomo belo esebenza ke kulezi inyanga ezu18 ezedlule.
Kanti odabeni lwesinqumo senkantolo ukuqoka kwesilo uMisizulu kaZulu ithini njengeNgonyama yamaZulu akukho emthethweni. iIFP ithe izodedela indlunkulu kaZulu ekutheni kube yiyona ezothatha isinyathelo esilandelayo.
On the issue of His Majesty the King, we have noted the judgment of the court, and it is a matter for the royal family now to deal with, and we hope that they will be able to respond to it in earnest to provide the necessary stability, and we will accept whatever outcome of that process is concerned. So for us, really, it's a matter for the royal family and His Majesty the King to see how they take it forward.
Umhlangano we-IFP weinsuku embili ukubhunga ngenqubomgomo yeqembu uzophothulwa ngoLwesithathu.
Umphathiswa kwi-ofisi kamongameli uKhumbudzo Ntshabeni ubhengeze ukuba abemibela abalishumi babavaleleke eGaza ngexesha lemfazwe eqhubekayo phakathi kwelizwe laseIsirayeli neHamas babuyile ebesenza ingxelo yeveki yentlanganiso yamalungu eCabinet ePitoli.
Ungqongqoshe udalule ukuthi iCabinet likushayele ihlombe ukubuya kwezakhamuzi zakuleli eziyi-19 ebezivaleleke eGaza ngenxa yempi.
Cabinet welcomed the arrival back home of 19 South Africans who had been stuck in Gaza. South Africa extends its gratitude to the government of Egypt for granting our citizens safe passage through the Rafah crossing into its country. South Africa calls for an immediate and permanent ceasefire and the resumption of talks that will end the violence arising from the continued belligerent occupation and lays the basis, and that will lay the basis for a just and lasting solution to the challenges of the people of Palestine and the peace of the people of Israel.
Udabeni lwe-Transnet ebonakala ibhekene neyinselelo ngesiminyaminya esibonakala emachwebeni afana nase-Richards Bay. iCabinet ikholelwa ukuthi ibhodi elikhona njengamanje lizokwazi ukuthola isombululo ngokukhulu ukushesha.
Cabinet has full confidence in the board of Transnet that they will implement what they've set out to do. They had, if you recall, they've committed with their minister to update the nation every second week in terms of the progress they are making to reduce the backlogs that are in our ports and also the work they are doing with the rail infrastructure. And that's what you need to follow up on. Whether there will be equity injection to the Transnet board, already National Treasury announced, and the guarantees that they needed to be signed for Transnet to be able to unlock its balance sheet.
Maqondana nokhetho lwangonyaka ozayo ungqongqoshe uthe umengameli wezwe usazohlangana nekomishana yengamele zokhetho iIEC ngaphambi kokuthi kuhlonzwe usuku lokhetho.
iCabinet inxuse abantu bakuleli ukuthi bawasebenzise ngokuwonga amanzi njengoba lelizwe likhungethwe inkinga yamanzi nje ikakhulukazi esifundazweni iGauteng.
Iningizimu Afrika siyantula futhi ngamanzi lenqinamba yamanzi sisobala njengoba inhlelo ehlinzeka ngamanzi esifundazweni iGauteng ziphansi kwencindezi. iRand Water isixwayise ngokuthi uma kuqhutshekwa nokusetshenziswa amanzi kakhulu inhlelo zokuhlinzeka ngawo azizukwazi ukuqhubeka isebenze. Uhulumeni unxuse zonke izakhamuzi zakuleli ukuthi isebenzise amanzi ngobuhlakani.
You will recall that South Africa is a water scarce country, and therefore the call for us to use water sparingly is not only limited to the people of Gauteng, it applies across the country.
Kusenjalo okhulumela iRand Water uthi ukunyuka kwezinga lokusetshenziswa kwamanzi esifundazweni iGauteng kungenxa yokushisa kulamasonto edlule. Uqhubeke wathi amathimba ezobuchwepheshe iRand Water azoqhubeka nokusebenza ngokuyikhandla ukuze kusimamiswe izinga lokuhlinzekwa kwamanzi.
Rainwater has over the past few months been warning that the water system is constrained due to high consumption across all Gauteng metros. The impact of heat wave continues to result in high consumption above the set targets in all Gauteng metros. Technical teams from Rainwater and Gauteng metros continue to collaborate in implementing interventions that strive to stabilize reservoirs levels and water supply to various areas.
Ijaji yenkundla ephakamileyo kwiphondo laseNtshona Koloni uNathan Erasmus ugqibe lokuba uZandile Mafe otyhola ngokugqugqisa ipalamente akanokujongana nezityholo abekwa zona.
Ijaji lenkantolo ephakeme eWestern Cape uNathan Erasmus linqume ukuthi osolwa ngokungqongqisa iphalamende uZandile Mafe akakulungele ukulandela icala abekwe lona kanjalo nokuziphendulela.
Diagnosis of mental condition, schizophrenia, under the heading section 79(4) C in brackets, capacity to understand court proceedings. The accused is unable to follow court proceedings so as to make a proper defense.
Mafe watholwa ukuthi unokugula ngokomqondo. Emva kokuhlolwa yithimba longoti bodokotela bengqondo esibhedlela sase-Eastern Cape. Ijaji lithole ukuthi labo dokotela banesipiliyoni kulomkhakha futhi asikho isizathu sokuthi beqamba amanga ngesimo sikaMafe. Lithi umbiko kadokotela uThuphana kanjalo nobufakazi bakhe liyabethemba.
He has been declared unfit to stand trial, meaning he won't be able to put up a defense and instruct his lawyers. We are happy that finally it has come to be finalized today, although it's not finally, as we have heard that the defense has indicated that they are going to appeal the decision, the finding of today.
Mafe ubhekene namacala amaningi okufaka phakathi ukushisa, ukuvukela umbuso kanye nokugqekeza kulandela isigameko somlilo owangqongqisa ephalamende eminyakeni emibili edlule. Ummeli wakhe uadvocate Dalimpofu uthi lo mbiko awunayo imininingwane eyanele ukwenza isinqumo esingagweba ikhasimende lakhe.
Inkantolo yemantshi yaseGoli lihlehlisele umhlazi isihlanu kuNhlolanja icala elibhekene nomethuli weinhlelo kumabonakude umulimo Jubjub Maaruhanyi. uJubjub ubhekene namacala okudlengula ukuzama ukubulala kanye nelokushaya.
Yengoba liphinde lahlehla lelicala libhekene nomlimo Jubjub Maaruhanyi, ummeli wakhe ukhala ngokuthi ukuma ndawonye kwalelicala kuphazamisa indlela aziphilisa ngayo uJubjub. Ekuqaleni kenkantolo yasichitha isicelo sakhe sokuthi icala lihlehliselwe umasingane wangonyaka ozayo ukuze uJubjub ezoqhubha umsebenzi wakhe kwezikaqedisa izungu ngesikhathi samaholide asehlobo.
Justice delays, justice denied. We're being delayed. But what can we do? Hopefully they'll have provided us with everything that we asked for us to be able to proceed with the matter.
Phezu kwalokhu uthi amanye amacala athweswe uJubjub awaphusile kwazise enzeka eminyakeni engaphezulu kweyishumi edlule.
We requested further particulars because some of the charges we could not understand or comprehend or being provided with sufficient details in which we can take the matter forward.
What are these particulars you're requesting for?
Such as, for example, if somebody says been raped, you say during the period of a year, you haven't said anything. So how do we plead to such a charge?
Inkantolo ke inqume ukuthi iyelule ibhayili kaJubjub kuze kube umhlazi enhlanu kuNhlolanja wangonyaka ozayo.
Ngaphambi kokuba niphume niye kwindawo ngendawo kumakhaya ngamakhaya emsebenzini esikolweni naphina qiniseka xa uphuma kulomnyango uxhobisekile ngokuqhumekayo kwisimo sezulu. Sibambe ngazo zozibini mbukeli ekhaya Jikelele ngokuba usahleli nathi. uCampbell Macmillan ngumdlali oqeqeshiweyo kunye nosomashishini oyintshatsheli ye-2021 Zimbabwe Long Drive, i-Southern Africa Prolonged Drive kunye nentshatsheli ye-African Prolonged Drive. uMacmillan ke wenze imbali ngokuba ngumAfrika wokuqala ukuphumelela i-Ultimate Long Drive World Championship ngonyaka ka-2023 ngendlela ke engakhokeleliyo engu-442 yards. Lo mdlali ke waziwa ngokwenza ngaphezulu ko-450 yards. Iswing enamandla kaCampbell iye yaba ke yindlela yakhe yokuzithengisa. Ngoku ke siza kuthetha naye uCampbell Macmillan kwaye ke udliwano ndlebe siza kulenza ngesingesi ngoba undwendwe lwethu alulazi ulwimi lwesinguni. Campbell, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm very good at the moment, thank you.
We are great. Welcome to Ekhaya Jikelele. Feel free, this is home. I'm sure you were probably wondering and pondering while I was reading the intro, what am I really saying? But you could hear your 440 yards.
Every now and then, yes.
Yes, but I mean, that is your success.
It has been. Just recently back from United States and had a very successful trip, a very up and down kind of trip, but very successful in the journey that is kind of where we're heading. It was the start of what I call the procedure to becoming the full-time world champion. There's measures to it.
Yeah, becoming a full world-time champion. And I mean, for someone who doesn't know you, who's sitting at home and probably wondering, who is this champion? Who is Campbell? And can you just take us through your long journey?
So basically, it's a very simple one. I'm a very simple person. I come from very simple backgrounds. I've grown up in the farming lands of Zimbabwe, where I had a father that kind of, directed me through golf as a child.
Wow.
He was famous for, I wouldn't say famous, but he was well known for his long drive antics and what he could do with a golf ball and the potential that he had. And I was lucky enough to have his gift. So, I potentially went through the golfing world when I was very, very young, but I took tracks to other sports in my life as a professional cricketer and what have you, representing my country. But yeah, look, I found golf and long drive later on in my life, and that's pretty much where we're at right now.
Amazing work. And I mean, you've always had a great passion, to fulfill your destiny and be the best that you can be. Can you just take us through the challenges that you actually faced while you were promoting the long drive in Africa?
Yeah, so these challenges, they're not going away. I'm still in that phase where we're building something brand new that Africa hasn't actually seen, let alone Zimbabwe or even South Africa. South Africa has more of a long drive component than Zimbabwe does. But, we've had the talent of long drivers in Zimbabwe and South Africa right now, and it's all about trying to get through the sequences of events that will promote the sport throughout the days. And it is a huge challenge. Obviously the most fundamental challenge is media and finance. As soon as we can start locking into how we do that, then the sport will start growing.
Yeah, you say that it's mostly popularized here in South Africa.
Yes.
And I mean, for someone who has no information, how would you differentiate the traditional golf and this one that we are talking about today?
So the way I look at it is, we all know as Southern Africans, we have the Proteas cricket side. We've developed cricket from Test cricket to one-day cricket and then to T20 cricket. So this is like the shortened, more adrenalized fire part of golf. So it is the long drive aspect, the aspect that most golfers in the world love to boast about when they finish their round of golf, is who hit the longest ball. So that is kind of generated into what we have as a power sport, a more sort of entertaining part of golf, a more sort of high adrenalized, as I said. It's a very sort of fun, loud, fast moving part of golf that is all that it is guys hitting golf balls as far as possible, and it's very exciting.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, one of the things that excites you is that, I mean, with the long drive is the fact that you get excited and the adrenaline that comes with the rush when you're pushing your swings. I want to understand how is the long drive gaining popularity here in Africa and throughout the world?
Well, the long drive has had previous kind of recognition around the world, especially. We have had very successful long drivers out of South Africa because that's generally where it's all come from. Nowhere else in Africa has really produced it. But yeah, look, I mean, the progress in the actual sport is basically coming out of Europe and America. COVID, obviously, you know, didn't really help the sport, and the sport took a bit of a knock from that, but it is slowly building its way up. The TV channels over in America are starting to produce it again.
Wow.
So yeah, you know, once we start getting into the TV side of it, then people will start learning about the characters of long drive, you know, the finer details, which will get people excited and wanting to watch this on social media.
Yes, and I know that, I mean, there are people who have brought about solid contribution in your career. And I want to understand, I mean, share your experience with the global long drive competitions.
So the global long drive competitions right now are, they have, like I said, they are starting to get televised and what have you. And, you know, it's just about being able to produce familiarity. It's basically where people need to kind of understand what they are watching.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing is, a lot with long drive is people do not know about it. How do we get this known? All right, we need to be able to create a media base where people understand it. You know, as soon as people understand something, they start looking at it and they start watching it. And it's the case everywhere else in the world. You know, at the end of the day, we will progress in terms of media, and that will take its time, but it will grow.
Yes, and I mean, speaking of that, I mean, you have been able to represent South Africa, you know, internationally, I mean, in a global scale. As you're saying that, I mean, there's a great need that the media is involved to make sure that, I mean, this world of sport is out there and people know about it. I mean, having to represent your country in an international stage, I mean, that's a huge achievement.
Look, it has been an incredible feat, and you know, I am very proud of all the steps that we've taken, you know, to get to this point. And I'm hoping that not only myself will be able to experience that. We have had people to, you know, other athletes go over and compete overseas and in America and what have you. And you know, like I said, you know, the more we do this and the more we keep at it, you know, we have very successful sportsmen and athletes. And you know, at the end of the day, if we just keep putting in the work day in and day out, we will get the recognition. And, you know, as Southern Africans, we always produce phenomenal sportsmen. One day we will be able to, you know, get through the hard yards and make it better for the youngsters coming through to be able to enjoy the fruits of what we do in terms of producing long drive as an international sport.
Yeah, they say a journey to 1,000 miles begins with one step. So I truly believe that if you take that one step, we'll definitely get to the sky. And I mean, I want to understand, I mean, outside of golf, I know that you do activities where you give to charity, giving back to community. Can you share some of the projects that you do and, I mean, the reception that you get? Because, I mean, you're truly an inspiration, you know, when that young boy, when that young girl looks at you, they feel like my dreams are valid. Can you also share some of the initiatives that you work with?
So basically right now, you know, a lot of what I do is currently for myself because, you know, initially I need to grow the sport by, you know, making a name for myself. So that people can understand. Once I've done that, I will slowly start pushing through to, you know, the schools, charities, whatever. I can use long drive, and that's what I do right now is like golf days. I will work in charity golf days, and I will entertain a crowd so that I can try and raise funds for whatever the cause of that golf day or whatever it is for now. So, you know, unfortunately, I wish I could do a lot more for it now, and there will be a lot more prospects in the future. You know, I have plans for that, and I have great people behind me trying to push that as well. So we will get into that more and more and more, and I will always, you know, give back to where I have come from. But you know, for now, it's all about creating a name so that it is you know, it becomes worthwhile when I start giving everything back.
Yes, I mean, you spoke a lot about the impact of the long drive as to how we can expand it here in Africa and beyond. I mean, you speak about also the future projects, your wishes and aspirations. You know, I want to understand, because it looks like the world is your oyster. I want to understand, I mean, looking at the future, where do you see yourself in this long drive journey? I mean, what are your aspirations? What is it that you'd also love to be remembered for?
Well, you know, pioneer. You know, the word pioneer comes to me, and, you know, being able to do that, you know, I'm motivated for my family, my children, and the closest to me. That obviously drives me to what I'm doing, and, you know, creating a legacy in that respect. So as soon as I can do that, I will be able to, you know, help grow it in the country and teach people, you know, what I have learned and be able to build on that. I will want to take it right to the ground level, school children, schools, whatever. You know, who knows? Golf is a very, very widespread sport, and with this, the two can connect. So we will build it right from the ground up.
Yes, I mean, what do you say to that African child who is watching, who feels like my dreams are not valid? I mean, what words of wisdom do you want to instill to them today?
Never, ever give up. And whatever you have in terms of your dream or what you would like or what you envisage seeing, whether it be long drive or whatever it is, just never give up. You know, there's enough in the world for you to understand that, you know, perseverance and resilience is something that you cannot falter. And once you learn that, never, ever, ever saying no or not taking no for an answer is you know, is the route to where you can end up.
Indeed, they say perseverance is the mother of success. It has
100%.
birthed you indeed. Thank you so much for joining us. We celebrate you at Ekhaya Jikelele for the amazing work that you do. Continue inspiring so many Africans who look up to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, right, mbukeli we Ekhaya Jikelele lo ke ebesincokola naye nguye uCampbell Macmillan, ongumdlali ke oqeqeshiweyo kunye nosomashishini oyintshatsheli ye-2021 Zimbabwe Long Drive. Mininzi ke imisebenzi ayenzayo kweli xesha ke lomdlalo. Ngokumbukeli ke masithi qhwisi yobhatala amatyala, qiniseka ke awuyindawo, sabukele inkqubo oyithanda kunene iEkhaya Jikelele.
Siphinde sikwamukele mbukeli lapha Ekhaya Jikelele. Sibonga kakhulu ngokusahlanganyele kanye nathi. Sibusisiwe isandla esiphayo kunesamukelayo, kusho umbhalo ongcwele eBhayibhelini. Uhlengi weNtsibande ungomunye wabantu abambalwa kakhulu ke abasaba ngabaSamaria abalungileyo. uNtsibande ungokudabuka le emtubatuba kwaSomkhele esifundazweni kwaZulu-Natal, kodwa ke njengamanje uzinze lapha eGoli. Njengomholi wentsha ebandleni akhonza kulona, ubuye ke abe ngumbhali wemidlalo yeshashalazi. Uthi ke ulandela eduze isiyalelo esiseBhayibhelini esithi kunakekelwe abafelokazi nezintandane. Uthando lokusiza abantu abadla imbuya ngothi lwaqala kuye semncane kakhulu njengoba ekhulele emndenini owawusiza abantu abaningi abampofu endaweni yangakubo. Unakekela abantu ngokunikela ngokudla kwabampofu endaweni yangakubo. Mbukeli sonke ke siyazi ukuthi ke isikhathi samaholiday asehlobo isikhathi lapho imndeni eminingi isuke ihlangene khona ndawonye kuphiwana izipho kube nemfudumalo. Izintandane ke ngoba zona ayinabani zisuke mbukeli izonikwa ubani lezo zinto ngoba ayinabani, kodwa ke uhlengiwe ukwazileke ukulivala lelo gebe wabesula inyembezi. Sisebenza naye lapha ke eSABC, ungomunye wabantu ke abasebenza ngobuxhakaxhaka bemshini lapha eSABC. Unathi ke lapha Ekhaya Jikelele ukuze sizoxoxisana kabanzi ngalomsebenzi omuhle awenzayo. Sikubingelele hlengiwe, sikwamukele Ekhaya Jikelele.
Sawona noxolo, ngiyabonga ukuthi ningimeme.
Awukubonga thina ukuthi uze uzosivakashela la Ekhaya Jikelele. Hlengiwa ngiyezwa ukuthi uthando lwakho lokusiza abantu abampofu abaswele abadingayo lwaqala kuwe usasemncane kakhulu. Mhlambe yini into eyenzeka eyenza ukuthi ubone lokho?
Kahle kahle la ngiphuma khona, ngiphume ekhaya, it's from my grandfather umkhulu wami vele ube umuntu obihlezi siza abantu endaweni. So ekhaya bekufika abantu singabazi bezofuna usizo. So there's something ehlukile ngami, I think umkhulu ayibona kimi, because every time I hamba eyonceda abantu ubehamba nami. Out of all the grandparents, grandchildren athathe mina athi asambeni siyosiza. So same thing as my mom. So lento yaze yakheka kimi ukwazi ukuthi njalo makune need, sometimes ke ngikhule ngakhula ngizokhula ngaze ngaba yimina ohambayo in the community identify imndeni ngathi hluphekile then ngize ngizosho ekhaya ukuthi kunenkinga kanjeni and then sizohamba ke noma siyokusekhona umunye uthola ukuthi akasakwazi nokugeza siyamphekela so yazi yakhula ke lento kimi and it became part of my life.
Ngiyazi ukuthi indaba yokuadopta lakho kunakekela abantu ngokusemthethweni kuvame ukuthi kuadoptwe kakhulu izingane ezincane ezi-adoptwe emndenini kodwa wena uadoptha ugogo wamnakekela usixoxele nje kabanzi ngalokho.
So kusho ukuthi mangifika kule where I stay manje khona ugogo ngilokho ngiyambona ulokhu umuntu oyiphuzelayo nje utshwala so manje ngize ngibona ukuthi no man this time manje usehleze ehleli yedwa ngaphandle kuze kushona ilanga akekho umuntu akadli breakfast akenzi nix ngize ngiye kuye ngimbuza ukuthi gogo kwenzakalani ngawe angitshela ukuthi ayi akasenamuntu omnayekelayo so naleli khaya ayiqashe kule kudayiswa khona utshwala bamxosha so mase ngim-adopte ngithi no ngicela ukukunceda ukuthi ube njengogogo wami ngoba siyambuza ukuthi abantu bakubo bakuphi uthi akukho umuntu uyi-one so kube ukuthi ngimthathe sizama ukuthi siyombhalisela ukuthi azama ukuthola uholo sizama ukuthi every time ngimuphe vele ukudla yonke into kwenzeke ukuthi azaye esibhedlela ke unfortunately mayifika esibhedlela abhalise vele ukuthi I'm her guardian azashone ke and we had to bury her.
Ubantu kwazi kwabuhlunguzo lezo ndaba kodwa engikuthokozela ukuza ukuthi ugogo at least ngeinsuku zakhe zokugcina wathola ukunakekeleka njalo njalo. Ngiyazi ukuthi kulolu hambo lwakho lokunakekela ugogo ubeke usuhlangana neMeals on Wheels okuyiyona futhi yakusiza nangomncwabo kagogo nahlangana kanjani nanokuthi bakusiza nje kanjani.
Okusho ukuthi-ke uma ngabe ngizwa iy'ndaba ngiphuma la emsebenzini zokuthi ugogo ushonile ngaba shocked ngoba nami I'm still young and I didn't know ukuthi ngenze njani nokuthi ngiwukhava kanjani ngoba ngingenamuntu vele ongicedayo yonke into iqhamuke ephaketheni lami so as ngi-researcha ngezwa ngendaba ngegama ethiwa kune-organisation okuthiwa Meals on Wheels so ngabafonela ngabachazela ukuthi nginenkinga ngogogo kanje in fact ukuhamba kwami nabo kuqale after ugogo esefuna ama-wheelchair esefuna zonke lezo zinto ngi-researcha ngaze sesesibhedlela ese-critical so ngiyabachazela ukuthi ugogo useshonile but anginawo amandla ukuthi ngathenga ukudla into engayizama ngazama abantu ukushumayela mhlawumbe sizame ukubona ukuthi singasiza ngani so yes inkonzo yomngcwabo khona azongcwabiswa ngezizotha so that's where they came in handy bakwazi ukuthi bapha abantu ukudla babezile emngcwabeni and bangisiza ngokudla then ibhokisi nani sabe sesibambisana ke ngicela nako makhansela ukuthi bangisize ngalokho.
Okunye futhi engikuqaphelile ukuthi uke ubone igebe wabona amantombazana asemancane kanti nabantu besifazane ukuthi nabo yazi kuyenzeka ukuthi bahlale ezimweni eindaweni ezibahlukumezayo nabantu ababahlukumezayo ngenxa yesimo sokuthi bayantula kwabona mhlawumbe umuntu uyabona ukuthi mangaphuma la ngizodlani ngizokondlwa ubani ngizoshona phi ngoba anginaphahla phekwe ekhanda lami njalo njalo manje wena ikuphi lokho kwenza ukuzama ukuxazulula leyo nkinga.
So into engiqale ngayenza ke ngumuntu osebenza kakhulu nabantu abasha so they will come and confide kimina ngama problems ababhekene nabo so and then ngizame ukuthi ngibasize ngokubakhanselisha but ngabona ukuthi okunye angikwazi ukuthi ngibakhanselishe ngoba ku deep kakhulu ama problems bechaza ukuthi omunye mhlawumbe uhleli u-stepfather samrape papa akazi uzokwenzani nomama nawe uyasho ukuthi sisondliwa wena that's when I then collaborated ngacela amanye ama-psychologist engiwaziyo no-doctor ukuthi mangabe bengibiza ukuthi ngizokhuluma ngizodeliver speech about that ukuthi besize nabo ukukhanselisha so I created ama-groups awu-2 e-WhatsApp whereby the other one is a strictly confidential one where kunama-counselors nama-psychologists nama-doctors even pastors who are women as well, who have worked with such people like that. Abanye, there are even more than 30 years of experience that they bring. So ngiyabona all around maybe KZN when I'm invited, I give them this link and they are able to come and share their problems. And sibonile umahluko omkhulu. So agcina ngake lapho ngabona ukuthi okay with women and children, and we also do conferences as well. Genza conferences siba equip about how to stand for themselves, and also try to see if singabancedisa kanjani ngezandla ukuze bekwazi ukuthi babe marketable and bring money instead ukuthi bahlale in the situations ago. Yes, and then not only did I end up there, then I found myself being a writer as well. Writing about the issues of gender-based violence, especially equipping abantwana ukuthi in the space of musical theatre. It's clear the play that I wrote is Ngobile, the victim, meaning that Ngobile as an individual. I mean Ngobile is woman abahlukumezekile, and then the victim, mina on my own, I'm the victim, which is directed by Brian Mazibuko or Sarafin. So kulomdlalo lena ngihlanganise ngenze research. It's based on the true stories from abantwana abangitshela ukwenzakaleni nabanye abarepiwe. Then agcinanga lapho ukuthi ngichaze ngeinkinga ababhekana nazo, but ngase ngihlangana nomunye ubaba ojele okuyena ochaza ukuthi how do you see from umuntu esakubulisa ukuthi uzokurapha lo muntu lo, and how do you equip yourself as umntwana wesikole. Not only that, sasikuba nama keys as well, ngasebenza nama counselor nama psychologist nakhona about indlela ukuthi usizakala kanjani uma ungabe usureshiwe. How do you do? One of the example that that touched me, because ngiya kakhulu emakhayeni la esemakhaya la investor khona kakhulu, ngithanda ukuya emphakathini la kusemakhaya engekho vele indaba yama centers for gender-based violence. So one of the issues esihlangana nazo mangiya lapho uthola ukuthi umntwana omunye waze wabuya kimi ona 7 athi warishwa umuntu wasendaweni, so amaphathi ajoineka leyo chama naleyo yokulena, but manje uyasho ukuthi uyabola ngaphansi and akakhona ukumayethi yo reporter ngoba lo muntu uyisikhulu endaweni bavele bengazi nix. So those things angithatha kakhulu ukuthi okay, let us equip abantwana ukuthi how do you self protect yourself uma umuntu sambona ukuthi unezimpawu iyo ke lena esihambe sidlala ke ezikoleni. Yes kakhulu.
Kuzosiza kakhulu ke futhi hlange ngiyaqaphela njengoba futhi siba nalengxoxo usho nawe khona lapho ke washo khona ukuthi ngoba kusuka ukhiphe ephaketheni lakho manje ngiyazi ukuthi izinto ziyabiza, isimo sokuphila sesinzima njengamanje, yonke into kuyakhuphuka kunjeyana, nawe nezidingo zakho njengomuntu phela ukuthi mhlawumbe ebangathiwa khona abafisa ukulekelela uluphi usizo ongafisa ukulithola. Angeke zisazi mhlawumbe khona umuntu obhekile othinteka inhlizweni ukuthi na angafisa mhlawumbe afake isandla ukuze umsebenzi wakho lo muhle uqhubeke lusabalala.
Yo singajabula kakhulu, especially ngithola umndeni wami usulwa nami kakhulu, because impilo isuke yashintsha kakhulu ngenxa yokuthi when you finance, especially ngisho nje one of the examples yona le ndaba yama plays, you get professional actors and then you need to pay them. And these are professionals, because I believe it's when you do something you give it your best or else you live it. So ngingajabula impela mangase besincede ngemali, and also we work with a dynamic youth la that are willing to do anything. So nabo singacela usizo olukhulu ukuthi nabo bethole ukusizakala, especially labantwana abayintandane, because manje i-Christmas lunch is once off. What is going to happen in January? January. So one of my greatest wish ukuthi at least masingathola isponsor sazi ukuthi bayabanika every month kune groceries ayo, kune stationery sizayo, ngoba one of the things esibonile masenze even Sunday engizwile ukuthi most of them they wanted to kill themselves. Already lo mama uyasho ukuthi ingane zakhe ezuthusa ezibulele ngenxa yendlala nokuhlupheka. So uma ngabe sesiyenza ke, and then ngiyabonga nozakwenu uKelvin Dludla ozile waba encourage abantwana ukuthi ukuyibulala ukuthi uyintandane akusho ukuthi kumele uyibulale. So nabo uma bengathola usizo lokululekwa ngokomqondo, beyazi ukuthi banendawo la basizakala khona umuntu ozoba ijeni, but nje financially we really straining, because I found myself also ekolotini manje ngoba laba abantu kumele ngibenzele, and now angisakwazi
sabalala abanele manje ke hlenge mangabe mhlawumbe umuntu efisa ukuxhumana nawe abantu bangaxhumana nguphi nawe?
Bangaxhumana nami ku WhatsApp. I think I'm on Facebook, Mhlengiwe Ntsibande, and my WhatsApp number was 067-124-0100.
Louder.
Oh, I'm on Facebook, Mhlengiwe Ntsibande, and number yami 067-124-0100. But bengithi nje ngicela ukuthi iqapho nge-event lesiyenzile nodludlu siphuma kuyo. I think kuyona mhlawumbe
eyangempela sonke kade nihambisa kuyo ya ungasiqaphu
yes. So manje kuthe uma ngabe ngi-invitewe kwenye indawo ngiyoyilalela uma sekuphela kanti kuzoba ingane which is an orphan. And then he started explaining about ubuhlungu abahlangana nabo. He's a child-headed family, una-11. Asho ukuthi uma wakhe washona ekade ebathembisile ukuthi bazoba ne-date bazoya chicken licking. Then the following day umama akasavuki. Yena umntwana uyitshela ukuthi hayi umama ukusho ukuthi ulele uye esikoleni mayebuya umama useshonile. And he was talking about ama-challenges shock okufacea nalokho and naye kwamele alandele iy'ngane zakube yincane. And the whole room broke down in tears. Mase ngibona ukuthi ayazi lento le ngoba lezi ingane uma ngikhuluma nazo sezingibambile sezingibiza ngomama ayisafuni ukungidedela. Already sekuphele koqala uDecember manje ngibona ukuthi ayazi amandla anginawo ukuthi ngabenzela something. That's when I also called in Meals on Wheels to say, please, can you cater for 200 people? Because as I'm a leader for izone, abaningi abasebenzi basesikoleni. They've got energy, they've got passion, but they don't have money and means. So that's when they get back to me, and with the donation also from friends and family, and also assisting from the church. So I would like to say thank you to the donors and the sponsors, and I would like to appeal those who are able to do that, can they please assist us. Thank you.
Siyabonga kakhulu Mhlengiwe Ntsibande ngomsebenzi wakho omuhle. Sikufisele konke okuhle. Sengazi ukuthi impela abantu bangeza ngaphambili basize bafake isandla ukuze sizobona impilo yabantu ishintsheke. Uqhubeke nje sisi ungaphela amandla ungadikibali uqhubeke usiza abantu abahlwempu.
Siyabonga.
Mbukeli lowo bekuhle ngwensibande besixoxa naye ngomsebenzi wakho omuhle wenzela umphakathi wangakubo ngokuyithandela yena futhi ekhiphe ephaketheni lakhe. Sizobuya ke ngemva kwalokho mbukeli mangabe uyakwazi ukuthi usize uncede ufake isandla siyakunqanqa mbukeli ukuze impilo yabantu izoshintsha. Asithi nje ke qu 8 olo siyabuya kusekhaya jikelele. Siphinde sikwamukele mbukeli lapha ekhaya jikelele. Inkantolo ephakeme yasePitoli inqume ukuthi sasingekho emthethweni isinqumo sikaMengameli wezwe uCyril Ramaphosa sokugcoba ingonyama uMisuzulu kaZwelithini njengesilo sesizwe samaZulu. Engabe ngempela sisho ukuthini ke lesi sinqumo senkantolo nanokuthi nje sinamthelela muni. Silandeke ungoti wezomthetho uMpumelelo Zikalala wezikalala attorneys ukuze ke asenabele kabanzi. Asikubingelele ke sikwamukele impumelelo lapha ohlelweni sibonge ngesikhathi sakho.
Nginibingele kakhulu bese ngibele kakhulu abalayeli abasemakhaya.
Zikalala ingabe sicela nje ukuthi usichazele ngalesi sinqumo senkantolo ukuthi ingabe sisho ukuthini? Pumelelo ngabe siyatholana?
Sengiyakuzwa.
Oh no bengisaqala nje ngokuthi siyacela ukuthi uqale nje mhlawumbe ngokuchazela umbukelo sekhaya ukuthi lesi sinqumo senkantolo ngabe sichaza ukuthini?
Inkantolo ibeyicacisa izolo ukuthi cha mongameli uzokhumbula phela ukuthi wena mangabokhipha certificate usuke o regulator noma olawula umthetho ubizwa nge-Traditional Leadership Act and Khosan Act. Iyona ke kutshenayo ukuthi mangabe kukhona umuntu uzofaka isikhalazo athi hayi mongameli before sikhipha certificate sibona ngathi angihambanga kahle ngasemndenini, wena kufanele uhlale mongameli bese uwenza into ekuthiwa investigating committee ezohamba iyophenye ukuthi kungabe lezi zikhalo ezisuke zifika nabantu abakhalayo ziyiqiniso zikhona kufanele yini ukuthi zinakho. In this case mongameli ithema isifikile incwadi wena wayithatha wayishayindile noma kade sisedeskini lakho wangasinaka leso sikhala kade sikhona. So inkantolo ibithi awuhambi uinvestigate mongameli ukuthi leso sikhalo sikhona ngempela yini, kodwa usenze njalo certificate lesa kade usikhiphile noma isinqumo sakho sokuthi urecognize isilumi esiZulu njengesilo samaZulu sasithatha leso sinqumo sakho sesibeke eceleni. Inkantolo ibicacisa lokho kizolo ngesikhathi ikhipha isinqumo sakho.
Manje umusho umuthi Zikalala kuthiwa umengameli akahamba yophenya abheke ukuthi ngabe konke kuhambe ngokohlelo. Uma engabuya umengameli athi cha usephenyile konke kuhambe ngohlelo ngabe ngingachazani ke lokho?
Kungachaza ukuthi isinqumo sakhe sizohlala sibe khona onenkinga naso noma nesinqumo sobe sisikhishiwe yofayile bese yachaza ukuthi ukuphi la ngahambanga khona kahle okungaba khona ukuningana mhlawumbe kuzothiwa ayi engathi le investigative team ekade usuyenzile ibinabantu bavele kade benenhleso yokwenzelela awuthathanga abantu aba-objective awuthathanga abantu ekade ukuthi bawongoti ey'ntweni zesintu nabazi ukuthi makuthiwa kukhethisile ukwenzakalani awuthathanga abantu emithe mayisiqala i-committee sikhona yangababiza abantu kuyibona fanele ngabe beza ngaphambili banikezwe ithuba lokuthi bazobhodla kusesifubeni sabo bazosho ukuthi ukuphi la bebona ukuthi akuhambanga khona kahle wenze ngendlela yakho bese kuphili noma wayikomiti oyinikezanga ngesikhathi esanele so izona ikhalazo mhlawumbe ezingaba khona lezo makuwukuthi ikomiti sikhona kodwa ikomiti mayikhona kufanele kuba abantu abawongoti abazi ukuthi umthetho usebenza kanjani hayi kuphela umthetho waseNingizimu Afrika lesibiza ukuthi legislation noma common law abazi ukuthi umthetho wesintu nowesiko nemikhuba yakwaZulu isebenza kanjani mase kuthiwa kukhethisile and then bese bezobona ukuthi ungabe khona inokurongo kwenzakalile emva kwalokho ibona ke bazo-advise upresident bathi hayi mongameli sithe masibheka kukho ukurongo kwenzakalile isilo esikhona njengamanje sona fanele ngabe sikhona noma babuye bathi hayi mongameli engathi khona okungahambanga kahle la ukuthi ukushintsha nangu umuntu esibona ukuthi engathi uyena okufanele ukuthi akahlale la kulesi sihlalo
manje mabe kubonakala ukuthi khona okungahambanga kahle lokhu kungagcina mhlawumpeni Zikalala sibona yini kwehliswa ke esikhundleni ngonyama uMisuzulu
singakubona kwenzeka lokho kodwa asikuhlukanise kabili asikhumbule ukuthi process ka-president yokurecognize umuntu oyisilo ihlukile noma iseceleni kuneprocess yesintu nemikhuba yakwaZulu nendlela ekwenzeka ngayo so if kuwukuthi kuzothiwa even ukufaka esibayeni kwesilo uMisuzulu kwangekho semthethweni makuthiwa khona isigcawu esifana njengaleso only then la singabona khona bese kuthiwa hayi-ke usuyaphuma or situation esingayithola singathola ukuthi isizwe samaZulu sizothi hayi thina sinaso isilo whether mongameli uyamrecognize or umrecognize asingene ndawo lapho ngoba thina siyazi ukuthi izinto zenzeka ngendlela efanele ngabe zenzeka ngayo into ekhona akukho la kubhale khona i-customary law so ayicodifywanga i-legislation esingakwazi ukuthi siyibheke yiwo kwenza kube nzima makuthiwa khona uphenyo ofana njengaleyo lekufanele enzima into enza kuphinde kube nzima ukuthi ayikho isigcawu sesibekwayo ukuthi mangabe kuthiwa kukhona ukungaboni ngasolinye emndenini kanje yeziphi izinto ekufanele ngabe ziyenzeke ila khona umthetho wethu noma mhlawumbe i-procedure siyenzayo ukusolve ama-disputes isashoda khona idinga umndeni uhlale phansi ubone ukuthi cha lento esikhuluma ngayo inkulu kunathi sikhuluma nge-legacy nokuvikelwa kwesizwe esikhulu sikhuluma ukuthi umlando awungasho ukuthi thina esakhoza ukuthi akuhelebse noma isizwe bese bethi siyashabalala ezandleni zethu asibone indlela esizokwazi ukwenza ngayo siqondise izinto zethu zihambe ngohlelo regardless ukuthi umthetho uthini so mfica phambili uhulumeni nezinto zakhe nako konke kodwa ngokwethu nayo into esifuna ukuthi ayenze khona uzokwazi ukuthi yenzeke kahle ngoba uhulumeni the only thing asuke ifune yena usuke ethi hambani nifike niyi-checkele nina ngokwemikhuba yenu ngendlela enenza ngayo bese niyabuya mina nizongitshena ukuthi ngabe yonke into ihambe ngohlelo yini
sasiphatha njengezikalala mhlawumbe singabona nephosela inseleleke lesi sinqumo uNdlelamithi uMisuzulu kaZwelithini
angakwazi ukuthi akwenze lokho nomongameli angakwazi ukwenza lokho ngoba uzokhumbula ukuthi umongameli wayethe kuyena ngesikhathi kubameli bakhe cha mina ngilalela uJaji Madondo likhulumile uJaji Madondo lento wathi hayi useqedile u-adjudicateile wakhipha isinqumo umbuzo uzobe usuthi-ke inkantolo esilinganayo nayo uGauteng High Court ne-KZN Division ngoba bazi inkantolo ezikulayini owodwa bayalingana ngokwamandla abo asinaso ithuba noma amandla ukuthi overturn i-judgment esikhona if kuwukuthi uzovuma ukuthi udaba selikhulunyiwe la discuss okwaqedwa ngalo then yindaba ukhiphe i-order engahambisani ne-decision into ekade uyi-admithile earlier so singabona upresident la ithatha lelo daba elisa phambili ku-SA sithole sibone yona iNdlelamithi ithatha lelo daba elise SA sathi la president uzothi hayi musana ukudlala ngami selikhulunyiwe udaba laqeda seligalelani phansi ngoba sisidecide ijaji ukuthi lithini iNdlelamithi yona bese izothatha mina ngibona ukuthi konke kufanele kuhambe kahle ngokwemgomo kwenzeka ngendlela akukho i-dispute esakhona udaba lingaqale phansi uselindele so lisakhona ithuba lokuthi bajusele udaba e-SCA nakhona futhi babona ukuthi khona ozohlulwe e-SCA ne-Constitutional Court esakhona futhi ukuze ikwazi ukuthi idingide
sibonga kakhulu-ke Zikalala ngesikhathi sakho sikufisela usuku oluhle
kubonga mina kakhulu ibe nosuku oluhle
mbukeli-ke lo besixoxisana naye umpumelelo Zikalala wezikalala attorneys besixoxisana naye mayelana-ke nesinqumo senkantolo esithi ukugcotshwa kwendlulamthi uMisuzulu kaZwelithini kufuneke kuyophenywa umengameli ukuthi ngabe kwahamba ngokohlelo yini na. Okwamanje ke emukelo sadilike qu 8 sizobuya emva komzuzwana.